Hey, Rifters, welcome to the show. Subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend, become a Patreon at patreon.com/ Reza Riff 61. Become a top tier. Get the videos. Get the podcast before they're released. Get a free cameo shout out. Get a shout out during the show. It will be fun. Anyways, we got a great guest. Today, you've seen him on Last Comic Standing, where he won the hearts of millions. You've also seen him at every comedy club in Los Angeles, winning the hearts of millions. Now, you see him on Reza Riffs, winning the hearts of millions. My guest today is Jay London, Comic Jay London. Enjoy the show. Subscribe, rate, review, and enjoy Reza Riffs with Jay London.
From Hollywood, California, welcome to Reza Riffs with your host, Keith Reza.
Hey, Jay. Hey, Donna.
How are you?
Hey,
Good.
hi, how are you?
I gotta see if I can change my name on this.
Ah,
I don't know.
I thought Jay just changed his name to Donna.
Yeah, well, I
Well,
mean,
it's getting close.
hey, look, in his dreams.
Ah,
Let's see. Settings. Let me see if I can just change my. If I can't, it's not the end of the world, but
yeah.
let's see. What's going on? Where are you calling in from, Keith?
I'm in Huntington Beach.
Oh, you're not that far.
Yeah. The crazy Southern California.
Oh my God, HB.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry. Is it okay if I?
Of course. I know it's Jay.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So can you see him? Let me get a little more light.
Huh.
Thanks.
How's it going, Jay?
Yeah, a little quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah,
I wish I could tell you things that don't exist, but I can tell you things that I'm just doing great, as you can hear.
I'm just
yeah.
trying.
You sound great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm filled with. I'm very vibrant at this hour. What is this all downhill?
How's this? Is it good? Look good for you, Keith?
Yeah, it looks perfect.
All right, good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna hang out. I'm gonna take some pictures for him for his own. But when you promote this, if you wouldn't mind, please using his updated
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Awesome. And we just read your bio a little bit, so we're really
You
excited.
read my bio? Holy
Yeah.
Lord.
Come on.
Yes.
We gotta educate ourselves.
Oh
here.
my gosh.
Yeah, you're the real deal.
Well seasoned.
Yeah, you're real deal. All right.
I wish I
I
was
don't like that word, but
I appreciate that, Jay London.
yeah, no, I just saw you do a performance, and I saw how, I did my homework here.
Oh, well,
Not that it's about homework, but like you crafted
yeah.
your.
Well, I
That's
appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much.
I've actually run. You see so many comics, though you probably don't remember, but I've run into you like 1,000 times.
Oh, I don't want to say something or downgrade myself. I got hit a few times in the head years ago, and I kind of think it caught up with me. And without looking again, using the word empathy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
on purpose, it's just I'm a little daffy and dopey.
No worries, no worries.
Sorry.
I used to have but I believe like in signs. Do you believe in signs? Because I'm not making this up. I used to have a co-host on this podcast. His name was Alan Lee. He was my best friend, and you were his favorite comic. And he kept saying, "We gotta get Jay London." And we'd see you at the Improv in the store, and before we'd ask you to do it, you just disappeared. And now that you're doing it, it's
I hate to sound like I'm interrogating you. What do you mean by disappeared? I have to know
like
what
you
that.
just performed and left and
Oh,
went
I
on
did
to
it.
the
Instead of yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I mean it's not a bad thing, but here's what I'm saying why I believe in science, because the great Alan Lee unfortunately passed away last month,
I'm
and
sorry.
I feel now that you're here, I feel like it's all coming together. You know what I mean? So like it's really an honor to have you
Well,
here.
and it makes me feel good because maybe it's a breakthrough time or a breakdown time, but I go for the breakthrough than the breakdown. So that's a nice
Yeah.
positive
So
thing.
it's really beautiful. So thank you so much for doing it. I really do appreciate it. I wish we would have done it earlier, but I was just so busy. You know how like when you get so much things on your plate and you're like,
When, where? I don't know that world. Getting too busy.
well, I was planning a funeral and I was also on tour, so I was just
I
like
got
I
you.
had all this stuff going on.
I got you. I got
But
you.
yeah. So I wanted to ask you about, we should probably start with Last Comic Standing because that's where the
Yes.
folks probably know you from.
Yeah.
And like how is that? Because like I've never been on TV like that, but I could just imagine the anxiety of a show like that where it's competitive and it's
Yeah. Well, again, the way you saw me leave a hit and run that night that you want to see me after a show is my MO with before I go on in my preparation. I get kind of like chippy. I don't like people around me. I just want to do my thing.
yeah,
And again, the emphasis is on homework. Did my homework and let's ready to do it. And I don't want to sound hamish, but it's very close to boxing.
yeah,
Sometimes you could be in your dressing room and you're ready to fight, and you could lose the fight in the dressing room, headwise. When you start doubting yourself and all. So I would go through all of that, but I always, what was your question?
Oh, my question was the anxiety on a game show like that where it's like stand up, but it's like a fight to the
Yeah,
death.
and just be ready and just be ready for the event. It's honing, it's exercising your craft and keeping it fresh
Yeah. You're totally right that you could lose a boxing match in the
in the dressing room before.
yeah.
Mike Tyson intimidated. I don't know how many fighters where they shrunk
Yeah.
before the actual fight. So it's a lot of heady stuff too. I
Yeah,
find comedy.
I agree. I was gonna say I find that that's the reason why Rocky lost in the first Rocky.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. That's another story about him. It- Rocky and Stallone there. I don't
Yeah.
want to have. What's the next question?
Oh, the next question, but you must have a little about boxing. Like, were you a boxer before?
I was, without sounding like a ham, I was a sparring partner simply because in those years, southpaws, lefties were hard to come by, and I used to train at showing revealing age in some way. A five-time world champion named Emil Griffith, and his last fight was at Wembley Arena in England, and I had the glory and chance to spar with him before
Oh
he
my God.
went up for the fight. Guys like Jorge Ahumada from South America, and it was run by a great trainer named Gil Clancy. If you ever look him up, what a great trainer. So
Wow.
yes, but I was in what they call the silver gloves, Latino gloves, and golden gloves. But I lost more than I won.
Yeah.
But I was just not good because I was fighting out of my division. I should have been fighting as a welterweight, and I was fighting as a middleweight, and my reach is small. So I'd have to always walk in and try to find a way an angle to get to those ribs,
Yeah.
get to
So
those.
so when you were sparring, like because I understand that that's a very tough sport, but there has to be some type of thrill to it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Kind
well,
of
it's
like
a big thing. You don't know this guy. There's guys who can say, "Hey, even in an amateur match, hey, how you doing? We're gonna fight, man, but we'll fake the punches, and then when the guy comes out and tries to knock you out, there's a lot of trickery. There can be trickery, but what was again? What we? I'm tired. Please.
no, it's okay. I love it. But
Uh, Boxing, is that you do your homework, do your road work, do your sit-ups and sparring. You got to keep in tune. It's called ring rust
yeah.
when you don't, when you have been inactive.
So were you doing comedy while you were doing sparring? Like
No,
what made
that was before. and then I got into comedy briefly way back. But then I went because I would go up there and go, "Hey, how you doing? Where you from?" And then I found out, like it's just like everybody else. So I worked kind of clubs that were like tough light clubs, and they would insult me, customers, and that's
Yeah.
how I learned the world of self-deprecation on stage
Right. Yeah.
by being in a good way. It was, it was another lesson.
No, yeah. It's
Take
a
my persona.
yeah, it's a style.
Yeah.
So yeah. But like so like what gave you the like what made you think, hey, I'm gonna do comedy now? Like how'd your mind set to that?
Well, I never started off in I started off in what you would call lower areas, not lower areas. I started off in Harlem, basically. I started off in black clubs,
Yeah.
and I hold the record, if I may say, at the Showtime at the Apollo. There used to be the legendary Sandman who would sweep you off stage.
Right.
And I got, I think, booed in maybe 3.6 seconds.
Whoa.
If I may say, I told the audience, I live in a black neighborhood. Guys call me homeboy. That's because I'm afraid to leave my house. And then I
You
talked
got
about,
booed for that?
and then I said that I was on a train, and at that time, a lot of black girls would wear hoop earrings, and I was on a train, and I couldn't grab onto the strap.
Yeah.
So I grabbed onto her ear
Man.
and
Showtime
booed.
at the Apollo, man. That was a
Yes,
big show
run,
back then.
run by the legendary Ralph Cooper, who was the equivalent to a black Clark Gable. Legendary. He used to always be with team up with Lena Horne, the great
Yeah.
Ralph Cooper. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got my training there.
But
Uh,
so that's a skill though, because like black rooms are actually kind of tough. And you could pull it off like that, even if it's a boo, you know?
the likability factor is it takes within 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're gonna digest you. Go, oh, yo, what? Say what? What's he saying? Man, get this dude off.
Yeah. You know, I saw Tommy Davidson once,
Um,
and he's great. But he's only great with that with the crowd he had, you know what I mean? And then I saw him at a different spot and he did the exact same stuff, but he bombed. But he
yeah,
killed it. So like it's just so funny how comedy style is just in different rooms and different atmospheres. It works and then it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
well, I've looked, not to downgrade myself, but sometimes the audience, they would look at me like as if I was an outpatient. You could, but if you fire off and you have something, a jewel at the beginning, you have to
Yeah,
give them a jewel, a dangle chum, high priced salmon,
definitely.
tuna, chum.
Were you always a one-liner comic or did you just jump into that?
Well,
Like,
this young lady, Donna, has been very instrumental in trying to puff up myself as the real me. As Kevin Nealon said, behind those one-liners, who are you? So I'm learning now just to break open a wall. I have a very hard, I don't know, it's a wall, but through her, I'm learning how to, do it, just do it.
yeah.
It's like going up a high diving board. I'd rather go up the belly flop than walk down those stairs. So
No, definitely. And I also get you too, because like, when you started in comedy, I'm not saying this is the case, but I'm saying this could be a case where like there was no internet, there was no social media. It was all word of mouth.
right.
And now it's all about social media and internet. You know what I mean? So it's confusing sometimes.
Well, I don't want to sound like I actually I told you my name. I am no more Jay London. I don't know if you know I had changed my name because of the business. It's now Jaded London.
Shit.
Jaded London, and London has fallen, and London has fallen.
Yeah.
Meaning it's not my forte that it's working the internet. I have no skills. I'm really backwards. I should have been from the 30s.
Yeah, definitely. But
Or
like
40s, whatever.
but
This I don't.
But that's not your fault. That's what I'm trying to say is
Oh,
because like when you were in school, nobody knew anything about this. They didn't even know this was going to happen. You know what I mean? So like they didn't teach anything about computers or anything. and then all of a sudden they show up. You're like, what the fuck?
What is this? Like an avalanche, it's shocking, and but also, those comics that have gotten notoriety on the internet or whatever. Is there a vulnerability factor as far as them putting in the time on stage, or do they go with their hardest hitting material and then it's called Die City?
Right. No, yeah.
So.
And that's a question we'll never know. You know what I mean? We won't know that answer unless it's that comic. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where it's fascinating. So when you did Last Comic Standing, you lost, but that was one of the big shows because I watched that growing up. So like, did that help you with like ticket sales? Did you get more work or
went on tour, changed my life, met some real nice people across the country, from Independence, Missouri to Daytona Beach, a nice 20 city, whatever. And that was so memorable. And then I remember working in Providence, Rhode Island, and I was going to go to an IHOP, and these fellows in a coupe or something, they go, we just saw you at the club, real rough types. And then they treated me I was treated with pretty good. I was roasted by NBC2 on that show. So it was only all good. And this is the end result.
Yeah, you get free IHOP.
Sad.
That's not sad. That's a goal.
I'm joking. And that's what's basically going on.
Oh my God. I think it's every comic's dream to get free IHOP because after the shows, you can't go to sleep. You're like, what are we going to eat? Oh, let's go to IHOP. I get it for free.
That's another thing. This is another quirk. If the show is over, I don't eat before I go on.
Yeah.
I'd rather be hungry on an empty stomach. And then I treat myself afterwards. I hobnob here and there, but I find the later the hour in the club atmosphere, the worse the element. And you know what I say to that? Run, Forrest, run. So I do my show and I'm good for 10 minutes. Hi, how are you? And give me my USA Today and a hot bath.
Yeah. No, I totally get that, man. Because when I first started, I worked at a comedy club and I was so broke that I had to eat leftovers from other people. You know what I mean? Like just to survive.
Yeah, but that's part of the
it's part of the business.
Part of the path. It's a path.
Yeah.
So
it's like the
not alone. As a friend of mine would say, same boat, different shoes.
Yeah. That's or same shoes, different boat. Exactly. Oh man. So then you did so how did Louis C.K. ask you to open up for him? Because you opened up for him.
Louis C.K. was nice enough because we go way back. We go back to the comic strip with the great who passed on, Lucian Hold and Richie Tinkin. He's the one that molded Eddie Murphy's career and Chris Rock, I believe. And so he would be there with a legal pad, like 1 a.m. Louis C.K., Mike Sweeney, who used to be the head writer of Conan O'Brien. They would, the writers would be up there till 1:30 in the morning. And he saw me, and then he saw me doing Tomorrow's Show out here with Ron Lynch. And then I had an opportunity, to do that.
Oh, that's awesome.
No warm. That was no warm. But the guy from HBO said, I said, well, is anybody gonna, without annoying? He said, no, you go, right there out. So that's
so they didn't even say, please welcome Jay London. You just went up.
Well, the sound man said it, but no MC to warm, nothing. Just.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So another experience. That's all.
So you're in that situation, you're very lucky that you have an easy name because if I would have done that, the guy would have screwed up on my name.
Well, what's even not funny about I couldn't find the slit in between the velvet curtain.
Right.
And they kept saying, and here's Jay London, and I'm messing around with it. It was funny in a way because I couldn't find the slit. And then I went into my thing, and and I still get recognized. Are you the guy who does a thing about a stepladder? I do a joke with my stepladder and this and that, and so I still get that's some time ago.
But how cool is that though? That you're known for your jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I even greater than that, because I'm not computer savvy. I'm actually in Wikipedia. I don't know. Can anybody be on Wikipedia?
I think only famous people could be on Wikipedia.
Well,
you're famous.
But I'm the only one who knows it.
Yeah. The thing about Wikipedia though is like anyone could write whatever about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah, that's the, yeah. Well, I just wanted to pump I don't want to pump myself up.
no, I'm pumping yourself up.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. So I heard on your Wikipedia your 5 hour specials, standing ovation, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I just wrote
No,
that in for your Wikipedia.
oh, thank you so much. Yes, and moving right along. Yes.
Pretty soon AI is gonna write all this stuff. So you're good. You know.
Well, you know, you never always capitalize on your creative process because as you get older or whatever, that process could dry up. So
Yeah.
if I'm making sense with that one, but
No, totally. You are. Did you ever run past with Mitch Hedberg?
no, never met him, but I knew this a friend of mine who knew him,
Yeah.
who actually found him, gone because
Yeah.
they toured together. This
Oh
fellow
my God.
named Randy Kagan
Oh wow.
Randy Kagan would open up for, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say you guys are probably like the two famous comics that I know about that has that one-liner style.
In actuality, I actually never saw his act. You
Really?
know, I never saw his act. I mean, I knew Dangerfield. Is there an influence? Yeah, with the no respect and all. But I just found mine again, as I saying, working rough, tight, tough clubs in New York. I got my little, police like me and all that. But that's the route I took.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I did myself for no reason.
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear from you. Go ahead.
No, I get it. No, but like Mitch Hedberg had a joke where he's like, I find that a duck's opinion about me only depends if I have bread.
There you go.
You know
Yes.
what I mean?
And,
So
and, and he was loved by all. I mean, he is it's all about age demographic,
yeah.
and it's about covering from preteens to 90. And if
Yeah.
you could, I'm not saying him, but to cover that spectrum, is that the word? Cover
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Uh,
spectrum. We could use
uh,
spectrum. That's a good word.
uh, that's where the key is, and I think he did it with old and young, Mr. Hegberg.
Well, the reason why I brought up that joke is because you have a joke that's it's not the same, but it's very similar in the style where like, did you know today is a year ago from yesterday?
Oh, it was a year ago today.
Yeah.
I
So
never-
like
yeah.
it's like it's very what's that? Pio I'm screwing up the words. I apologize.
It's even better that you do.
Yeah. Let me try one more time.
Yes.
Po P I can't do it.
That's all right.
Poetic. It's very
Oh,
poetic. You're
right.
writing.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I've had jokes siphoned, taken. Jay Leno says in an interview one time, you can steal my jokes, but once you steal my persona, who I am, then that's a whole different category. But I've had stuff material siphoned. I used to do a thing to say yo to drugs. That's how long when they used to say no to drugs, I used to say yo to drug. And the guy in the Greenwich Village in one of these Cafe Wa is doing my joke on stage, and I did my Columbo. I put my eye halfway like this, and I said, so, I got nothing else going on here, and he was trying to give me money out of his pocket, like to bribe me. In
Yeah.
other words, I confronted him, and
Oh.
nothing happened. But
How much did he give you?
he wanted to give me, he took money right out of his. I'll never forget. This is many moons ago, and I said, I don't want your money. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
Say yo to drugs.
Yeah. And then you should have said, now I want your money for the advice.
Well, yeah, well, if I had a sharp way about me, yeah, but whatever.
I think you and I should get together one day and write a sitcom about you. I think this would be great.
I think that would be terrific. With the lodgings at your house?
Yeah. We could do it at my house. Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I'm ready for something, man. It's at the racetrack. You know what they say? The track announcer,
What?
post time. Well, post time. Post time.
How,
So
That would be great. You could be like a guy who takes bets at the racetracks, but he gives like bad odds. Like you know who's gonna win. You could be like, oh, okay, I'll give it. You should pay $1,000 for Rock and Thunder because Rock and Thunder is gonna win the race, right? But
Well,
you know he's the slowest horse.
yeah, I used to know that element back in New York. That would actually, if the race is over, they tear the tickets, and
Yeah,
throw it in, you know. And there were people that, after the fourth race, all they would do was just look at the floor, and then a real rate. That's a real what they call $2 Joe. They don't
yeah.
have any more money even to get on the bus to go back, and they're looking for a scratch on the ticket or an exact, somebody just threw it away nonchalantly. But that was a
Sometimes they
different
just
time.
steal the horse to get back home.
There you go. In fact, I went to Hollywood Park. You know Hollywood Park?
Yeah, yeah.
I played the race card.
Oh, did you?
You get it?
Yeah.
I played the race card.
No, I get it, but yeah. I thought you were gonna go over with that, like go more.
Oh, no, that's it. They have jokes.
So, so what's your sweet spot when you do comedy? Like, do you like doing an hour? Or do you just like doing the
An
10,
hour.
15? Yeah,
No,
like,
sometimes I'm lucky if I could do 15 minutes.
yeah,
There's just so much there. I'm like a mad professor type. Sometimes I just throw it against the wall, but it's always formatted in some way. But an hour. But I was told through a certain pipeline, if I really tell stories and all, I can have 20 hours.
yeah,
It's breaking down me. That's all. That's
yeah.
psychological. I don't know.
Well, I think the what I was gonna say is the 10 to 15 minute spot, that's the sweet spot because you could just do your set and not worry about, the people paying their bills and stuff.
I was in Montana last month in Billings and Helena, and I opened up for this guy Mason, whatever, and he kept saying, "Well, I never had anybody set the platter for me like you did."
Yeah.
So I like to set the plate, and hopefully the next act they'll
Yeah.
eat it.
Yeah.
And just a feature. I like hit and run, 20 minutes. Hey, hi everybody.
Yeah, yeah, that's the sweet spot. But it's so cool that you got to work with Mason Whatever. I'm a big fan of Mason Whatever.
Oh, do you know?
Oh yeah, how many whatever people do you know?
You're
Right?
right. I'm sorry. I sorry.
No, no, it's fine.
He's
But
very big in. He looks like Charles Manson. He's very big in Utah, the
yeah,
Southwest there. So I had the opportunity to open for two shows out here, one in Billings and the other in Helena. And it
that's
was nice.
awesome.
What an audience, man! Wow,
Yeah,
that place could be a mother lode of comedy.
yeah.
So sweet audiences, sweet.
And you said he looks like Charles Manson?
Oh yeah,
Oh my God. Is his opening joke saying, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you."
there you go. Like the eye movement. So, and he promised me that I'm, possibly something with working with him or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that's that.
Yeah. Hey, I think that you should always hold people to those promises because, like, when I was starting, everyone would promise me this stuff. And then there came to a point where I just harassed them until they kept the promise.
See, so you're dogged, like, I mean,
Yeah. Like, if you went up to me and you said, Keith, we're going to go on tour, we're going to go to all these cities, I promise. I'll be like, all right, Jay, let's do it. The next day I will call you. I'll be like, Jay, I'm
you're right on
about
the
to
case.
buy my ticket, baby.
You're right on the caseload.
Yeah, I'm a caseload.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I'm a self-express baggage.
Any carry on?
Yeah, carry on. We could do carry on, yeah.
You have a lot of carry on luggage, yeah.
Oh, man, I always thought like so I want to like marry someone who's in the flight business so I could get free flights because they are so pricey nowadays. You know what I mean?
Over the loudspeaker it says, if you see a suspicious package, you should call it in. And you know how many times I got picked up a suspicious package? I go to TSA. Because of my handwriting on my notebook, I got stopped. They thought I was a terrorist because they thought I
Yeah.
wrote hieroglyphics and whatever. I get those plain stories too.
Oh my God. How big is your notebook? Because I always see you when I see you with a notebook. Is it the same notebook or like is it
Oh,
different
I have
notebooks?
notebooks. It's a dollhouse of notebooks.
Yeah.
And I also carry the notebook because it gives me legitimacy.
Yeah.
See, if I don't have that, then or I have to have something. See, if I have one bag, I'm carrying it from let's say, John's or Ralph's shopping, plastic bag, I look legit. If I carry two bags, then I may fall under the heading of being homeless.
Right.
So, so what was I do have a notebook all the time. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
crutch.
The question was you have how many notebooks do you have?
Oh, through the years, uh, from spiral to whatever, maybe about over 100.
Nice. Do you ever go through them?
If I can understand the handwriting, and some of the paper it cracks,
Yeah.
because I don't throw out my notebooks because there could be a jewel there that I might have to that I need.
Later.
So,
Yeah.
uh, so I don't throw any of that out. And
Yeah.
I don't know how many cassettes I have, micro and this cassettes and this and that. So I always listen or write, try to.
Well, no, that speaks to your writing styles because the rule you could write 100 jokes, right? But only one is going to be really good, and the rest are just going to be jokes.
Well, my odds are much greater. 500 jokes, and I hope one works.
You write 500 jokes, one is going to be a killer joke. Well, that
They're called nuggets. They're nuggets.
they're nuggets. Yeah,
Yeah, and they can come out of nowhere too. So yeah,
yeah. It's
uh, and that's it on the idea of writing.
It's like the old 49ers who moved to San Francisco to nugget for gold, and they all thought they were going to get rich, but they
Mhm.
got that one, right? That's the
Yeah,
joke.
that jewel. It's about jewels and knowing also to have, if you can stockpile jewels. If you have something that you're trying to direct towards a TV spot, late night, whatever, if you
Yeah,
have some of those jewels, just keep them on the shelf sometimes,
yeah,
knowing that for you or whoever you're really close with works.
yeah.
'Cause
Well,
I don't know comics out there. I don't know.
well, there
There's
used to
some
be
like
there used to be a time where TV spots would change a career, like Johnny Carson or Jay Leno or Arsenio Hall, where if you got on that show, you have a career. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, he's a little, Jimmy Fallon said, I'm going to follow in the footsteps of Johnny Carson and aspiring, having comics on all the time, so he's a little bit of a trooper. Uh, I don't see the comics an array of comics that they once had as
Yeah.
far as the weekend. So I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched Jimmy Fallon in forever. I've never watched Jimmy
No,
Fallon,
I'm,
but
I'm just saying, at least he has a pipeline where he's using comics and wants to
no,
keep
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's nice. As far as Johnny Carson, yeah, he made people see as soon as you sat on that couch, you were made. But
Yeah.
a different time, different innocence.
Yeah.
Today
Definitely.
everything hard hitting and
And Cutthroat. I don't like it.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't want to start to stutter.
No, no. Yeah.
Start to stuttering because what do you call it? I have
I
a stutter.
stutter. I couldn't say poet.
I have a stutter step and I have a stutter at the same time.
I have a huge stutter. I couldn't say poetic. Like,
No,
remember?
that's nothing. I don't say join a club, but no, not at all. You're very lucid and clear.
Sometimes like I have a word that I'm gonna say and I say it, and it just doesn't come out. And I'm like, hold on. I know how to say this word, and like I won't stop until I get it out. You know what I mean?
But that shows courage.
Yeah.
I mean, once people start to attach themselves, I guess, to a speech pattern, they can see some faultiness through stuttering. It
Yeah.
shows something.
No,
So,
definitely. Well,
but
So like I have Asperger's syndrome, so growing up I was very nonverbal. So that's probably where my speech stutter comes from because
That's
I
where your
had
genius comes too.
yeah.
So
So yeah,
that's great. Huh?
I'm a genius on that, but like I went to a lot of speech, like I took that very seriously,
Oh,
and I'm still terrible at it.
Yeah, but their lives those nuggets too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't know why I bring up the word nuggets here today, but
Hey, that's what it's called. Nuggets Riffs with Jay London.
yeah, hey, not bad.
We're gonna change the name
Yeah,
just for you.
for me. How about that?
Yeah. So Jay, I wanted to ask you if you could go back into a time machine and talk to a younger version of yourself, giving you advice what you know now, what would you tell yourself?
Uh, Separate yourself from people that may have been tainted in
Huh.
other areas of their life. Yeah, and uh, I learned that crowd, not crowd work, crowd, not hanging around with the wrong comedic crowd, but the after effects of a show and getting too sloppy and nonchalant, and other people have images that may be a little negative. So I wish I stayed more to myself or those who, guys like you,
Yeah.
like that. I don't even say guys like you, but not or to say your type, but
No, no, yeah.
instead of a hard hitting, hey, let's go out and eat 40 McDonald nuggets tonight and whatever else,
Yeah.
So I regret that. I regret that. It would have been if I took the path that I should have taken. I'm sure that it would have been different.
Well, I feel that the path that you did take led you to how you are now. So I think it's a good path because you're very humble and you're very nice and you're a sweetheart. So I think like that was such a great, you know what I mean? Like if you would have changed a different path like that, who knows, maybe you would have been bigger, but you could also have become the
Yeah, but I
biggest
also,
jerk
and
in
I
the
don't want to
world.
get into that subject matter. I would also be doing 30 years right now.
Yeah.
I would be doing 30 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So my life has changed. I learned certain things along my life, and that's it. I don't want to over make it more than what it is, but would I trade my footsteps for somebody else? No, because I don't like to use the word warrior. It's been kind of warrior like to
Yeah.
keep punching. I went to do the Louis C.K. I got a little bit in this there, Louis C.K. And I told on one of the jokes I said that I'm at I believe Louis C.K. special. I said that I'm thinking of moving to Seattle because they have a high suicide rate,
Right.
right? And somebody higher up in the Comedy Store uh, said like, not good. It was too dark or whatever. And I
Yeah.
really haven't worked there since, maybe one time. And I did a special there.
Yeah.
And I said, but I don't want to spool I don't want to, I'd be a little rotten about it.
I've actually gotten the exact same comment at the Comedy Store because I actually have a couple suicide jokes. And so I feel because the Comedy Store, this is how I feel. One, suicide's very tragic, and I'm not making fun of that. But what I'm saying is I feel that since the Comedy Store, there's been so many comics who have taken their life, right? Like Robin Williams, Drake Sather. So like it is a very serious thing. And I feel that when they're there at the store and they were family, they take offense to it, but they don't
Yeah.
see the laughter of the joke.
Yeah. But, and basically everything falls on me.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not telling them. This is what, and I'm actually I'm actually riling that subject matter in my own little way.
Yeah. But they don't see it like that. That's what I'm
No.
saying. So like that's why being a booker compared to a comic is a totally different art.
Yeah, yeah. I remember one time, Valentine's Day, I said I got my ex-girlfriend an electronic ankle bracelet, and even though we broke up, I'll always know where she is. And you know what this guy, the lady after the show, this young lady goes, why did she have to be in a bracelet? Why did she have to? She was questioning, this and
Right.
that.
But the
So
joke was you're stalking her, so that's why it's funny,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
See, I get it.
There you go.
These people, man, they just don't understand jokes. You know what I mean?
I
But
tell him I just tell him I'm the joke. There are no jokes.
yeah, usually when I tell a joke that no one gets, I just said, "Hey, don't worry, my family didn't like it either. Moving on."
Well, you know, at the comedy store, there's a black drop, you know, the what do you call it, the curtain.
Perfect.
Why all you see is my face.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm in, you know, you know, it's very weird. But what was your question? And I want to bring this up. What did you just say?
I didn't have a question. I was just saying how
Oh,
like there's a difference between booking and comics and how they view stuff. Because a comic would understand the darkness of a joke, and a booker doesn't understand it.
no, I've, you know, I've said things that were a little not off color or whatever, just a little too out there. Can't get
Right.
it.
Well, see, and that's another thing because at the time you said it, you thought it was funny. You might not think it's funny now, but at the time, so like minds change. You know what I mean?
Well, that wasn't the only one. I mean, I don't get sad here and sounding like I'm going to take my life, but I you know, I just wanted to hit that subject matter, and as if to say, you know, just have the balls and moxie to keep going. It
Yeah.
was like poking at suicide, if that
You,
makes sense in my own
no, it
way.
makes totally sense.
You know,
Yeah. How many
some say
hats do
maybe,
you,
huh?
how many hats do you have, Jay London?
I'm a man of many hats.
Yeah.
I have about, I don't know, five, six, and you know, you know, I change.
Yeah.
The hair is changing, and so is the hats.
I think one day you and I we should get together instead of going out to lunch, we should go get a hat. We should go to a hat store and buy a hat.
Yeah, I'm looking for a nice black derby.
A black derby? All right.
Yeah, see this, not this one. I went to this place called Adele's, very famous custom place.
Yeah.
So they have derbies there. So in the back, they had, you know, the old, you know, St. Patrick's green one, lime one, that's worth about 50 cents. And she charged me like $35
Whoa.
for, the derby. I still have it. Doesn't, you know, whatever. My point is, I don't know the point. I don't know what it's.
Uh, I thought you were going to say your point is inside the hat there's
No, then
two
I got ripped off.
20s.
I got ripped off for $35. But you know, and I wanted to give it back, but I said, you know what? She's an independent broker, you know, self, whatever. And I wish you the best. I
Yeah.
had to bring that up because again, jaded London and there's angst. So I had to
Yeah.
bring that story for $35 for a thing that was worth, felt that was worth, it was felt. It was worth 50 cents in the Japanese market.
Well, maybe if you didn't buy her that hat, she wouldn't have taken your joke that one day.
This is true.
Oh, oh man. All right. So Jay, two more questions for you. One, I wanted to ask you. Oh, I actually did ask you this if you go back in time, but I wanted to ask you who were the comics that when you started that mentored you, like that helped you out?
Nobody, nobody. I hate to say it, but nobody. This is an end product of Jay. I mean, I had nobody. Again, all learned on stage. Nobody said, well, you know, if you say it this way, you do this, you do that, or hold the mic this. You know, you know, and what's the greatest thing about that? There used to be a legendary slash cab driver comic teacher called Andre the Giant back in the '80s there, who gave courses on comedy. And
Yeah.
his one of his things he would say in his course was, whatever Jay London does as a comic, do the opposite.
Oh my God. He actually
Yeah,
said that?
and yeah, Andre the Giant, he was a comic from New York, and
And then
I
he did
never
The
believed
Princess Bride, right?
what
Then he did the movie The Princess Bride.
Andre the Giant.
Yeah, Danny.
No, we're not talking Andre. His name was Andre. He was a cab driver. He was like 6'8". His name
Oh.
was Andre the Giant.
Oh, so this is two
And
different
he,
Andre the
yeah,
Giants.
yeah,
Oh,
and he drove
I was
a
gonna
cab.
be like, what a
No,
coincidence.
no, he drove a cab, and he also gave courses in how to be a comic. and
Yeah.
he referenced me as something. Don't do what he does. Just do the opposite.
Wow.
And I've never been gone for going for comedy. I don't believe someone should go for comedy classes. You learn on the stage.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
Pick the
how I
guy.
learned. Yeah.
Pick the guy.
I learned by watching guys do comedy and then learning from that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like go to a class or anything.
I don't really have to work far on who I am, theatrically, comedically, whatever, because it actually is a bloated me.
Yeah.
It's a bloated me.
Huh.
Right now, I have no air, but it's a bloated me. You know. And what was what was the other thing you wanted to ask me?
The last thing I want to ask you is what's the club that you could go to that you don't have any anxiety that you know you're just going to do well? Like what's the club that you look forward to going to the most?
Well, I haven't been there. She runs it now, Jeannie Bus over at the Ice House there.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't not been there, because they had their 50th year renovation slash anniversary, and I mean I attack those clubs well. At the Comedy Store, yeah, improv, great crowds, but sometimes they could something can happen. That's a good question. Hey, I'm a crapshoot. I'm really a crapshoot. So it just depends.
It
It
depends
depends
on the day.
on that day. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'd like to answer that question fully. I'd like to do well in all of them,
Yeah.
but you can't kill every time.
No.
Anybody that tells you I killed, they had nosebleeds. The guy had a heart attack. There's something deranged, sociopathic.
Right.
So sometimes you have your crowd. Sometimes it is what it is. It's hard to take home.
Yeah.
You know,
It's whenever someone says they killed every time, I just think, hey, are you Dick Shawn or something? You know what I mean?
and he went by the wayside there.
But yeah, but he
So,
that's how I want to go, man. Like just doing a show, not audience not knowing if I'm faking it or whatever, and that show will be in their mind the rest of the work of their life because they'll be like, "Holy Lord, Keith Reza was so funny, he died."
yeah, what a wonderful statement, but a horrible statement at the same
No,
time.
yeah, yeah, but like, oh my God, that's my dream. If
Yeah.
if how I die, I mean, I'm scared of dying, but yeah, that's how I'd want to go.
I wanted to know, in ending, can I push a product?
Of course, yeah. Promote
Now,
whatever you got.
talking about dying, I'm coming out with casual funeral wear for the laid back, laid out look. So if you know somebody, get a
Oh,
hold of me.
nice.
What I'm saying is, I'm just doing shtick at the end. I shouldn't leave on that note.
No.
I'm losing credibility.
Well,
So
we
that's
should
it.
leave on this. Where can the folks at home follow and support you?
Through Facebook.
Facebook, Jay
I need
London.
anything else. I need to be coached. Basically Facebook, yeah. And
All right.
if there's work available, whatever, I'm also looking, an hour something like that. I'm looking for work too.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
I
We're
can
gonna
only
get we're gonna get together, write a sitcom about buying hats at a racehorse track.
okay. You come up with the budget, and I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
I'm
Uh,
joking. Hey, this is really smooth. This one really like butter.
Oh,
Just
awesome.
nice back and forth. No, I didn't sense not a second of dead time, and that's
Cool.
so important.
Well, thank you, Jay London. I really appreciate it. And like I said, thank you for doing it.
No,
You're one of my favorites, and you're Alan's favorite. And I know he
God
was
rest
here
his
with us in
soul.
spirit. Yeah,
God rest his soul, man. And thank you so much spiritually. It's
yeah,
about that. Breaking that wall down through good spirits and all.
yeah. Well, he was definitely here with us today, so I felt his
Beautiful.
spirit. So yeah,
Well, I hope I approve. He approved.
yeah, definitely. Well, Jay London, have a great day, buddy, and thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. Hope to see you again. Talk, whatever.
And of course, Air 5.
All right.
All right, bye, Jay London.